Garrett Alberson apologized to Jake Timm and his fans after the two made contact during the USA Nationals dash racing for the lead last night at Cedar Lake Speedway. Roll this up over at stockcarreport.com. You can find the link in the description below. This is kind of what happened on lap 3 of the 6-lap dash. Alberson, who was running in second, got a great run around the top through turns 3 and 4 and was nearly dead even with Timm coming out of turn 4 and heading to the start-finish line. However, Timm, who was running on the bottom, came up and made contact with Alberson coming out of turn 4. The contact turned him sideways and nose first into the outside wall. He then bounced down the front stretch and was lucky he did not flip over. Here is what happened. Alberson in the red, white, and blue, number 58 there on the top. Jake Timm in the green, black, and white, number 49 on the bottom.
Here's the Dirt Vision replay. Watch this off turn 4. Alberson almost side by side with him. And again, Timm had no way of knowing he got there because he came up on him so fast. Man.
Real estate running out. Oh, and hopefully...
Here's the Dirt.
So that is what happened there. Those are the replays from Dirt Vision. I think it was clearly a racing incident. I don't think anyone was intentionally doing anything there. But Alberson did issue an apology after he went on to win the dash in victory lane. This is what he told Dirt Vision's Ashton Smythe. He said, "I really hate it for Jake. I wanted to put a show on for you guys. This stuff's really hard, and it means a lot to start up front there. I don't know. We were already up front. Obviously, it's a 6-lap dash. Top 6 guy, so he's at the front, and then he's clearly running in second, so he's going to be starting on the front row if they ended up finishing that way. But anyways, he goes on and says, but I know I'm not getting any fans this week. Man, this stuff's hard. We're trying hard. I went it really bad, and I'm sorry to Jake and all his fans. I pushed too hard right there. I really did. I had a run. I was just trying to make it exciting. I hoped I could make it through there, and we just didn't. So sorry, Jake. Sorry to them guys." Timm was visibly upset following the contact and stayed in the infield instead of returning to the pits with his car. However, on Facebook, he simply stated, "Won our heat race tonight, and we are starting 6th in the $100,000 USA Nationals tomorrow. Thank you to everyone that supports us and all the awesome fans that have visited our merch trailer." So it looks like he is going to be repairing that car and starting in 6th rather than pulling out it back up and having to go to the rear of the field. So that is good news that they are going to be able to get that car repaired, and he will have a really good starting position for the USA Nationals tonight. Now, I do think there is a little bit of debate that can be had here. I don't think Garrett Alberson did anything wrong there, but I think even here we can kind of maybe read into a little bit of what Alberson's saying here is that maybe he should have let up. Maybe he should have allowed Timm to kind of clear him and then try to work around Timm in the next lap or something like that. So Timm then clearly knows that he is indeed there instead of trying to maybe push it a little too much there. But again, I don't think Alberson did anything wrong. He had a great run there. He was clearly on the outside of Timm. He had gotten his nose to Timm's door, to his window at least. And so, but should he have waited? Should he have been a little bit more patient? I think there might be an argument for that. But at the end of the day, if we're just looking at what happened, I don't think Alberson did anything wrong. I think that was just great, hard racing. And Jake Timm came out of it on the wrong side. And sometimes that happens. And that happens in racing. And that's just is what it is, as they like to say, right? But I'll be interested to see what you guys make of this. Do you think that Alberson should have apologized? I don't think he should have apologized at all because I don't think he did anything wrong. Do you think that he should have been a little bit more patient? I'm open to hearing that argument. I think that is a possibility, especially with Alberson himself saying, "I pushed too hard right there." But at the end of the day, he had a huge run. He's trying to set on the pole. I think that does matter, even though that he is potentially going to be starting on the outside. He's a racer, and racers want to win, even if it's a 6-lap dash, and he has the chance to to kind of stay where he's at and sit on the outside of the pole and still be on the front row. But he wants to win, and winners want to win, and racers want to win. And so I appreciate that he was trying to push that, and he was trying to put on a show, and he wasn't kind of sitting back and just kind of riding around, which I think is what he did during the fans dash later in the night, because it looked like he started around 8th or 10th, and he ended up finishing at the very end. So I don't know if that was because he didn't want to potentially get involved in another accident, because clearly he might have had some damage to his car as well. So maybe he was kind of just nursing it around there. So I understand that if the car had damage, we still wanted to be out there, put it on for the fans. But anyways, talking a little bit long here, but let me know what you guys make of this. What do you make of Alberson's apology? Let me know in the comments below.